Good morning, y'all. I couldn't get my daggone mouse to work. Oh, yeah, it's because I got done this piece of paper. How's everyone doing? Guys, I may have to. Can y'all hear anything in the background? Let me know real quick. If y'all can hear that sawing in the background, they're down the road from me sawing something. Let me know. I can move into the kitchen. Now, this microphone is not supposed to pick up a lot of background noise, although it does. Let me see who's in the chat. We got a lot to talk about this morning, y'all. We're going to talk about the Murdaugh murders. Hey, Sapphire Tracker 3, Cheryl Lynn, Melanie Christina, RNA, Patty Lynn, Cheryl T, Jack's mom, Cement Shoes, It's a Crying Shame, Misty Walker, Sunnyside Ginger Locks. Did I get everybody? Can't hear? Okay. Then I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so y'all know I've been following this, the Murdaugh murders, a prominent family out of, what is it? Is it South Carolina? I believe a mom and son are found shot to death. The dad, Alex Murdaugh, a big time lawyer, hey Charlie, found them. Now, allegedly, he was visiting his sick father. But there's trouble in paradise. There was trouble in paradise there. They were having some marital problems. Let me get my stuff pulled up. We got a couple things to read. So I reckon investigators are looking into the Murdaugh's marriage. And here's something else. They found Maggie, the mom's phone outside of the property. I'm going to read everything so I get everything right, get all the information out. Okay. Let's read about their marriage first, and then we'll go to about the phone. This is by Fitz News. They've been covering this story really good. Let me get screen shared. I think it's the husband. You know what I think, Charlie? Y'all want to know my theory? I think he had this done. He's tired of their bullshit. His son was in all kinds of trouble. Wait till I just read y'all all this stuff. Then y'all tell me what y'all think. This is interesting. Okay. Murdaugh murders. Investigators are looking at Alex and Maggie's marital status. It's one of the areas that's being investigated. And this is written by Will Folks. I need to follow him on Twitter. I guess that's the area. Moseley? Is that how you say that? Moseley? It's been nearly a month since the South Carolina Low Country was rocked by the brutal murders of two members of the area's most powerful families. An unsolved mystery which continues to generate national and international headlines, as well as comparisons to John Grisham's novel. To recap, shortly after 10 p.m. on Monday, June 7, 2021, 52-year-old Maggie Murdaugh, 22-year-old Paul Murdaugh, both of Hampton, South Carolina, were found shot to death outside of a residential building located on a sprawling 1,700-acre hunting property owned by the family in rural Colleton and Hampton counties. I don't know if I say that name right. Y'all know what I mean. Paul Murdaugh was likely killed by multiple gunshot blasts, while his mother was killed by a semi-automatic rifle. The Murdaugh's bodies were discovered by R. Alexander, known as Alex Murdaugh, Maggie's husband and Paul's father. This case has attracted extensive attention for several reasons, including the fact that the police have yet to make any arrest or identify any suspects in connection with the savage slayings. It has become the, let me see if I can say this, consummate whodunit, and the agency leading the inquiry, the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division, known as SLED, has been exceedingly tight-lipped regarding its investigative process. The case of the Murdaugh murders has also drawn interest owing to the wealth and power of this prestigious family, which has yielded unrivaled influence in a 5-county region of the Spanish moss-draped South Carolina Low Country for several decades. 3 generations of Murdaughs served as solicitor or district attorney, for Allendale, Beaufort, Culleton. Is that how you say that? Culleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties between 1920 through 2006. And Alex Murdaugh currently works part time for the office of Solicitor Duffy Stone, the family handpicked successor to former solicitor Randolph Murdaugh III. Stone, incidentally, has yet to rescue himself from the ongoing investigation into this powerful family. In addition to his work with Stone, Alex Murdaugh is a partner at the prominent regional law firm of Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Elsroth, and Detrick, which is known for winning big verdicts from friendly jurors in Hampton County. Beyond all this, though, the Murdaugh case has garnered a huge audience because of the family's purported ties to several other suspicious or violent deaths in recent years, one of which prompted a six-figure out-of-court settlement, another which is the focus of a recently launched homicide inquiry, and a third which was making its way through civil and criminal court at the time Paul and Maggie Murdaugh were gunned down. At the time of his death, Paul Murdaugh was staring down a trio of felony boating under the influence charges, tied to a fatal 2019 boat crash which killed 19-year-old Mallory Beach of Hampton, South Carolina. Meanwhile, Alex Murdaugh and his surviving son, Buster Murdaugh, were listed as defendants in an ongoing civil case related to the boat crash. Mallory Beach died when a 17-foot center console fishing boat owned by Alex Murdaugh and allegedly driven by an inebriated Paul Murdaugh slammed into a pylon near the Archers Creek Bridge on February 24, 2019, around 2:25 a.m. Eastern Time. In the aftermath of the double homicide 4 weeks ago, this news outlet has learned that Alex Murdaugh and perhaps other members of the family are part of an ongoing investigation into alleged obstruction of justice related to the ongoing boat crash investigation. According to my sources, this obstruction investigation is currently before the statewide grand jury in Columbia, South Carolina. Since the June 7th slaying, SLED has cast a wide net in the hopes of finding out what happened at the Murdaugh's hunting property, known locally as Moseley. I think it's how you say it. In addition to pursuing multiple leads, agents have sought to exclude individuals who may have had a motivation to commit the murders. Multiple law enforcement and prosecutorial sources with direct knowledge of the investigation told me Alex Murdaugh was identified early on as a person of interest in the case and remains a focus of the inquiry to this day. However, as I have noted from the beginning, Murdaugh is said to have provided investigators with an ironclad alibi for his whereabouts at the time of the murders. Attorneys close to the family have also told me he is fully cooperating with SLED and is not a suspect in the case. In and around Hampton, South Carolina, over the last 4 weeks, though, significant speculation continues to swirl around Alex Murdaugh, especially as it relates to what multiple sources close to the family have described as a troubled marriage with his late wife. I have declined to speculate on the status of the Murdaugh's marriage. Similarly, I have declined to engage in any discussion of alleged paramours. There is plenty of gossip and speculation, both locally and among the state's legal community, but nothing concrete to confirm. All I can confirm at this point is that the Murdaugh's marital status, whatever it was, is one area of interest in SLED's ongoing double homicide inquiry. It is one of the areas that is being looked at, a source close to the inquiry told me over the 4th of July weekend. It might not end up being the most promising lead, but it is being followed up on as part of the investigation. Readers will recall that Maggie Murdaugh's cell phone was retrieved by investigators on a Culleton County road on June 8, 2021, the day after the slayings. It was promptly sent to SLED's crime lab in Columbia, South Carolina for forensic analysis, along with numerous other items retrieved from the crime scene and nearby. So, what information was on the phone? That remains to be seen. Similarly, it remains to be seen what agents uncovered in their extensive review of Alex Murdaugh's digital records, or what they have pieced together from the evidence found at the crime scene, including ballistic evidence. Fitz News was the first media outlet in the country to report on the Murdaugh murders and has exclusively reported on most of the significant ensuing developments related to this ongoing investigation and its various proximal cases. Stay tuned for more coverage. Context as new director Mandy Matney and I continue working with our network of sources to bring our readers the latest. Oh, so here's a picture of the writer, Will Folks. I added this to my favorite pages because Fitz News is the first to report anything on this case. I have noticed that. Now, I want to go look at my chat because I've been reading. Oh, if he had a mistress, oh my God, that's not going to look good, Jack's mom. Let me go back up. Hey, TC. That should be a crime, right? I'm just reading the chat. Yep, and the grandpa. See, Alex was allegedly visiting his sick father at the hospital when the murders happened. Okay, then after the murders happened, Grandpa passed away a couple days later, but they said it was from natural causes. This was definitely premeditated. This was a freaking hit. Now, what I want to know, I want to know who done it, who's behind this, who's responsible for this. They got a lot of enemies. Not only was he in trouble for that boating accident, but the Murdaughs are tied to a cold case, a hit and run. A young guy was found. Well, they don't even think it was a hit and run. His body was found on the edge of a highway, right? Someone tried to make it look like he had been walking on the road. Somehow the Murdaugh family is tied to that. I'm guessing. And this young man was gay. You know what I think? I think him and Paul had something going on, and Paul did something to him so the word wouldn't get out. That's what I think. Because this young man had a car. He was on his way home from a game or something. Anyways, there was no glass on the road or anything. There was no evidence that a car hit him. It looked like, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it looked like he'd been bludgeoned to death. Who'd you rag on in the Mr. Ed voice? See my shoes? Let me fix my chat here. It's all messed up. Let me refresh here. He was with the older son at the hospital. Well, you know what? If the dad's involved, look, this is a powerful family. Of course, he didn't do it himself if he did do this. Probably hired someone. I know they took all of his phones and things like that. So, he had something done to his face. Who had something done to his face? Cheryl T, of course he had a mistress. He's a rich Southern man with influence. I would put money on it, just saying. Yep, you're exactly right, Cheryl. I agree. Alex, a.k.a. Buster, is gay and was with Stephen. Paul is Timmy when drunk. He's the wild. Okay, so Buster, the other son, Paul's brother, is gay, right? Is that what you're saying? It's a crying shame? Okay. So maybe he is responsible because this young man, I've still got the article somewhere. He had told someone that he was seeing someone and he was going to go out on their boat fishing with them. And we know who had a boat. The Murdaughs. It's a crying shame. Yes. Okay. I got it right. Hey, Stacy. That gay guy had injuries to his face, not a car hit. No, there was no glass or anything on the side of the road. Someone killed him and laid his body there. And why would he be walking on the side of the road? He had a car, and everybody knew that car because it looked like a big banana. It was a yellow car. Let me go find this article. Hold on. I'll be back. We're going to go back and read about this cold case. It's a good thing I saved stuff in this private room of mine. Now, if I can just find it. Give me just a second, guys, because I have like a lot of stuff saved here. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. We got a picture of the young man. Let me get it. Oh, I just noticed I have a tab opened where I was looking up Ryan Bain's yacht company tied to the Sarm Heslop case. Okay. Murdaugh murders. Former South Carolina trooper reveals suspicion in 2015 cold case linked to Murdaugh family. Nothing about this case from the very beginning pointed towards it being a hit and run. South Carolina state investigators have opened an investigation into a fatal 2015 hit and run case based on information gleaned from the investigation into the murders of two members of the prominent South Carolina family. Names and stories of the Murdaugh family surfaced 6 years ago regarding the death of 19-year-old Stephen Smith, a young gay man found dead in the middle of a lonely rural road with deep gashes in his head, but investigators said they were never able to directly connect anyone in the family to the incident. And now, a retired South Carolina state trooper who led the investigation into Smith's death told Fox News he had long suspected the case to have been a murder. Nothing about this case from the beginning pointed towards it being a hit and run, Proctor said. As any investigator, you go off the evidence. There was no evidence that pointed towards this being a hit and run or a vehicle even being involved in it. It looked like it was more staged, like possibly the body had been placed in the roadway. Smith's mother, Sandy Smith, agrees. She said shortly after Stephen's death that she believes her son was beaten to death and the crime covered up. The coroner's report on Smith's death said he was most likely hit in the head by a mirror of a passing tractor trailer truck as he walked along the dark 2-lane road after he ran out of gas. But Sandy Smith told the Hampton County Guardian, as reported in the Augusta Chronicle, that there was no glass or plastic shards on the road where Stephen's body was found. Nothing that would indicate the young man was hit in the head by a mirror. Proctor told Fox News that what she said was true. Okay, if he was hit in the head by a mirror by a passing tractor and trailer, wouldn't he have some glass somewhere on him? Think about that. In his head, in his face, on his body somewhere. There's nothing. No broken glass in the road either. It does not make sense. Okay. Paul Murdaugh, 22, and his mother Maggie were found shot to death June 7th. We know this. Okay. Now, Alex Murdaugh did put up a $100,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division spokesman Tommy Crosby said earlier this week that SLED was opening its own investigation into Smith's death, not a reopening of another agency's probe, but rather bringing a fresh set of eyes onto the case. And while South Carolina investigators haven't said what evidence prompted them to open the investigation into Smith's death, Proctor told Fox that the Murdaugh name came up during the investigation and that the family was not particularly cooperative. What I ended up finding was there were a lot of people who didn't want to assist or communicate with us, he said. They were very withdrawn with what they knew or thought. And before too long, some of them, including the Murdaugh family, stopped cooperating at all, he said. As people of interest in the case come up, you try to get them to speak with you. They shut down, Proctor explained. And when you don't have enough evidence to compel someone legally to speak with you have to go off their willingness to speak with you. Sandy Smith, speaking to The Guardian shortly after her son's July 8, 2015 death, said she thinks she knows who killed him. One of the guys that supposedly did this, Stephen told his twin sister, he had a twin sister, that he had a fling with the boy, she said. He also told me that he and the boy had a deep sea fishing trip planned for July. Stephen died the 8th of July. It doesn't matter what his sexual preferences were. He was still my son, and he was not messing with anybody and was going to school to better himself. No, it doesn't matter what his sexual preferences were. He wasn't bothering nobody. I guarantee you that Stephen was not in that road, she said. They took him from his car. Everybody knew his car because he had the ugliest banana car in town. These boys were coming from a baseball game, and I think they were right behind him, so they had to pull over. They were right there. Well, it would be interesting to know if he had any gas in his damn car. I mean, they're saying that he ran out of gas. That's why he was walking on the road. Was there any gas in his car? I just don't believe my son would have been walking in the middle of the road like that. He would have seen headlights coming, got off the road. It just doesn't make sense. The worst part is that some of the individuals responsible were Stephen's classmates. Sandy Smith did not reveal who she thought killed her son. She told Fitz News this week that SLED came to her house to tell her they were opening an investigation. I've been waiting on this day for 2,174 days, she said. Thank God. Bless her heart. A mother's intuition's hardly ever wrong. She knows her son was murdered. I want to know if there's any damn gas in that car. Let me go to the Fitz News. Since she did an interview with them, he may have asked. Hold on a minute. Let me go. Let me look at my chat just a minute. I don't know if it's still screen sharing. Yeah, it was, but I messed it up. We're going to see there may be some more information in this article about her son. We need to know, was there gas in the damn car or not? Oh, let's see. I don't want to read what all I just read. So he was 19. Okay. Last week, Fitz News exclusively reported SLED asked Andy Smith to be interviewed in the Murdaugh murders investigation. Sandy told Fitz News she was devastated to hear that she and her family were being viewed as possible persons of interest in the Murdaugh murders. SLED is continuing to cast a wide net as it looks to exclude individuals in connection with the double homicide. SLED's inquiry into the Smith family does not mean its agents believe they had anything to do with the deaths of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. SLED is simply looking at anyone who may have had a possible motive in the case. For years, Sandy has been begging law enforcement officials to open an investigation into her son's unsolved death. Now she's hopeful this new investigation will shed light on what really happened to her son. Okay. Let's see. Unfortunately, today's news still leaves us with so many questions. How are the two cases related? Why did the case go cold? Why did I don't know what that is, have the case for so long? Who killed Stephen Smith? Like the probe into the 2019 boat crash that killed Mallory Beach, the 2015 investigation into Smith's death was chaotic from the beginning, clouded by jurisdictional confusion and suspicion of investigative interference. Smith was found dead just before 4 a.m. July 8, 2015. Crime scene photos obtained by Fitz News are horrific. Stephen's entire face was covered in blood that cascaded from a 7.25-inch gaping hole on the right side of his forehead. His head was misshapen by blunt force. Someone just left him in the middle of the road to die. Okay, there's a little diagram. Stephen's massive head injury, along with the lack of other significant inquiries on his body, stumped investigators on the scene. His right shoulder was partially dislocated. Cuts and bruises dotted his right hand. His loosely tied shoes were still on, and his clothes appeared untouched. His phone and keys were still in his pocket. Investigators found Smith's car 3 miles away on the side of Bamberg Highway. His wallet was inside his car. Detectives noted the car's gas cap was unscrewed and hanging outside of the gas cap door. Law enforcement officers believe Smith ran out of gas and started to walk home before he was killed. Well, I mean, did he have gas in the car or not? Was it on empty or was it on full? Freak. Okay, officials couldn't nail down a cause or manner of death. At first, they thought it was a hit and run. Then the coroner ruled the death a shooting homicide, forcing investigators to search the royal car carved between a tree line and a cornfield. In their search, investigators from the Hampton County Sheriff's Office in SLED found virtually no evidence. No bullets, no gunshot residue, no tire marks, no debris from a vehicle. They found nothing. Hours later, a pathologist at the Medical University of South Carolina, Dr. Aaron Presnell, ruled that Stephen was killed in a hit-and-run accident, a decision which was met with confusion and skepticism by investigators and those who knew Stephen. Investigators theorized that the mirror of a semi-truck hit Stephen's head, but there's no glass, there's no debris. If his head hit a vehicle that was passing by, a mirror, there would have been debris, something. It does not make sense. Okay, let's see what Stephen's called by Stephen. Favorite quote: "You can have all the money in the world, but one thing you will never have is a dinosaur." Homer Simpson. Most likely to become a medical physician or rule the world. Oh, bless his heart. Oh, he had nice hair there. Stephen's friends and family also disputed the autopsy report. Stephen was sharp and hyper aware of his surroundings. A toxicology report showed that Stephen was completely sober at the time of his death. Stephen was not stupid. His friends told Fitz News. There is no way that would happen to him. He would not let a car, let alone a truck, get close enough to hit him. That did not happen to my friend. He didn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve people to think that. In his hometown of Hampton, Stephen was beloved. He was an openly gay young man in a small town, which wasn't easy. But he made the best of it, his friends told Fitz News. He was bright and determined to make a better life for himself. He was in school for nursing at the time of his death. According to documents, detectives were pursuing Paul Murdaugh and his brother Buster Murdaugh as possible persons of interest in the case. I'm glad I went and found this article. To be fair, police appeared to be pursuing other persons of interest as well and never named anyone as a suspect. According to the investigative file, Buster Murdaugh was rumored to have been linked to Stephen intimately, but detectives never proved this connection. It's also unclear if the MATE team ever examined Stephen's phone, which was tossed between agencies before it was finally unlocked by the FBI several years after his death. The Murdaugh name was mentioned at least 40 times throughout the course of the investigation. In the file, Detective Todd Proctor was clear in his reports that he didn't believe Stephen's death was a hit and run. "We're not classifying this as anything other than murder," Proctor said in an audio recording. But months after Proctor made the statement in the investigation, Stephen's case went cold until now. SLED did not say what took so long for them to get the case from South Carolina Hampton Police. I guess that's what that means. SCHP. Sandy Smith is just glad they're finally doing the right thing. "I just can't believe it," she told Fitz News. Okay, here's the author, Mandy Matney. Interesting. So it wasn't Paul. Hashtag justice for Stephen and Mallory. Let me write that hashtag down so I can remember it. I'm going to start using that hashtag. Hold on, I'm going to get to the chat. So what happened? Did Buster not want anyone to know he was gay? And he was afraid Stephen was going to tell everyone? You know, they're from a small town. Buster's from a prominent family. Did he kill Stephen? And maybe his daddy helped cover up? I think their connections where they're a prominent, powerful family is why that case went cold. That's what I think. If you got nothing to hide, okay, say a young kid that your kids, your teens know, was found dead on the side of the road. Wouldn't you cooperate with police? I mean, what if that was your child? Wouldn't you want people to cooperate if they don't got nothing to hide? If the Murdaugh family didn't have nothing to hide, why didn't they cooperate? If you didn't do nothing wrong, you don't got nothing to worry about. Your fingerprints, no, your DNA should be there. The kid was gay in a small southern town. First thing I think, it's a hate crime. I think he's messing around with Buster. Well, yeah. And he was afraid that Stephen was going to out him. I heard the area is most accepting of gay people all over South Carolina. You know, my little town is very accepting too. You know, I'm from a rural place. Of course, you know how it is. I'm from a small country southern town. Of course, people probably judge them. Of course, same thing. A lot of people don't agree with that and all this and that. But, you know, there's no like hate crimes that go on. I see gay couples out all the time, men and women, holding hands and stuff. Used to around here, though, guys, when I was growing up, if you were a white woman that went out with an African American man, you was basically freaking shunned, talked about like you were a dog. But now it's not like that around here. Of course, there's prejudiced people everywhere, or racist people, but it's pretty, you know, everything's pretty much accepted here. Here in my town, we have a college. The University of Virginia owns it. So we got people from all over the world that come to school here. I've met people from Ethiopia and everything. People from Ethiopia are really cool. Hey, Dory. Good morning. How are you? Okay, guys, what else was I going to tell y'all about this morning? Let me look here. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all about this Texas man that killed his 5-year-old niece. He was put, okay, of course, he's in prison, right? Doing a life sentence. But all of a sudden, he confessed to more murders because he said the victim was haunting him at night. And he wanted to come clean about what happened so this ghost will leave him alone. The spirit of his victim will leave him alone. Let me find it. Also, guys, did y'all see where that kid was killed at that amusement park? 11-year-old. It happened in Iowa. Let me see. Iowa amusement park ride accident kills 11-year-old boy. They was on like a raging water or something. We'll read it here in a little bit. I want to share this with y'all. I want y'all to look at this guy. I don't know why people get tattoos on their face. You can tell he's a weirdo. Okay, let me scroll down to his picture real quick. Look at this. Let me see what his name is. Angel. He's not no damn angel. He's a freaking demon. Angel Zentino. Excuse me. Y'all know I can't pronounce nothing. A Texas man serving a life sentence for killing his 5-year-old cousin, and her name was Catherine Gonzalez, has apparently confessed to other murders after one of the victims' faces began to haunt him in prison. I'm going to have to light up a cigarette for this one. Angel, let me see if I can say off his name. Lisandro Sanchez Zentino is currently behind bars for murdering Catherine Gonzalez. She was last seen playing with her dog in 2014 at her babysitter's yard when Zentino lured her away, killed her inside a vacant Dallas apartment. Police found the little girl hanging by a shirt in the closet. That sick son of a bitch. Oh my gosh, now I can't even get my lighter to work. Hold on a minute, y'all. Okay, I'll light it in a minute. Last week, Zentino returned to court for trial after confessing that he killed Martin on Ontiveros, Ontiveros, I think. Dallas News reports. Ontiveros found dead inside a different Dallas apartment in 2014. In a recorded confession, Zentino reportedly said he beat, what is that guy's first name? So I don't have to go around saying this all the time. Jesus, Ontiverso found dead inside a different, okay, Ontiverso. He added Ontiverso's face had been haunting him in prison. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, I missed something. Hold on just a minute. Martin. Okay, so in a recorded confession, Zentino reportedly said he beat Martin with an iron pipe, hitting him over 40 times. He added that Martin's face had been haunting him in prison, where he's currently serving a life sentence for Catherine's death. Zentino told authorities about Martin's death in hopes the victim would go away and leave me in peace. According to family members, Ontiverso was left in the apartment tied up with shoelaces and a belt. He had been beaten severely with the iron pipe, which was left behind in his apartment. His phone and vehicle were missing. Zentino claimed that Martin told him he was gay and tried to seduce him, which greatly angered the defendant. 2 months after Martin's death, police found Catherine. She had been sexually assaulted before Zentino killed her. Zentino also apparently confessed to several murders in the Dallas area in 2014, although the names of the alleged victims have not been disclosed at this time. The other victims will not be brought up during the first part of Zentino's murder trial for Martin's death. The trial is scheduled to continue throughout the week. So the trial's going on right now. Hey, I hope the rest of his victims haunt him. I hope he sees their face all day long, every day of his life, 24/7. I hope they haunt him till he goes freaking insane for what he did to this beautiful child and for what he did to Martin, too. Okay, guys, let me get to my chat here. And hold on, I'm looking for something. Hold on one sec. What in the world did I do? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, sorry. I brought the wrong lighter out here. Okay. Oh, I got a super chat and didn't even know it. Dory, thank you for all your hard work, CC. You are appreciated. Oh, Dory, thank you so much. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all check out Dory. You still putting up videos, sweetie? CC, I do care about the victims. And let me tell you what. I went through abuse growing up. I know what it feels like to be a little bitty girl, 5 years old, and have a grown adult do something to you. I know that fear. You're freaking petrified. I used to be frozen in freaking place. I mean, I just know the panic that you feel and all the thoughts that goes through your mind and stuff. And let me tell you something. At 5 years old, you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Hey, AP, how are you? Thank you again, Dory. I appreciate that, honey. I'm sorry I didn't catch it right off the bat. Okay. Let me see. I got something else. Y'all know he's probably be convicted of that murder. I'll let y'all know. Now, we're going to talk about a child murderer here for a minute. Now, this happened in London, I believe, in the UK. Let me light my cigarette. I believe we talked about this when it first happened. But this young kid, a 15-year-old, stabbed his 12-year-old friend to death. He tried to behead him, and he also tried to cut his hands off. Okay, is what it was. I'm going to read y'all the whole thing. But this 15-year-old wanted to rob a store so he could have money to start his own drug business. He wanted to be a kingpin, I guess. The little 12-year-old's like, no, that's crazy. I don't want to do that. So the 15-year-old says that's why he stabbed the 12-year-old to death. He lured him into the woods. I'm going to read it out. Look how cute that little feller was. Gosh, 15 years old. My son's 14. Gosh, he would never do something like that. He's got the most gentle, caring heart. There's not a mean bone in his body. A jury is deliberating a 15-year-old sentencing after he was convicted of killing his friend and trying to decapitate him. On December 12th, Roberts Bunkus of Boston, Lincolnshire, England, was found deceased in a wooded area near his home. The 12-year-old had been stabbed over 70 times, showed markings on his neck consistent with someone trying to behead him. BBC News reports that a 15-year-old defendant was convicted of murder by a Lincoln Crown Court jury last week. The defendant, who was 14 at the time of the killing, admitted that he injured Robert but would not admit to murder. Pathologist Professor Guy Ruddy said during the trial that Roberts had 22 different injury sites on his body. It also appeared as if the defendant tried to remove the hands or fingers, Ruddy said. Police said the defendant left a knife broken off and wedged into the victim's skull. Jesus. Here's the killer. Gosh. The defendant claimed he met up in the woods with Roberts to exchange marijuana for money. Roberts allegedly didn't bring money, which angered the defendant, according to what he told detectives. The defendant accused Roberts of pulling a knife on him, accused him of making him get out of bed for nothing. I just started laughing at him. I thought the way he was angry was way out of order, the defendant said. As I was laughing, I just see this silver thing coming at me. I panicked, tried to grab the knife off him. Yeah, right. The defendant claimed he cut Robert's hand while trying to grab the knife from him. The prosecution, however, said the defendant lied about a drug meetup and brought the knife himself to the scene. You can't give any explanation as to why you stabbed him when he was on the ground and you stabbed him again and again. Prosecuting barrister Mary Loram, QC, asked. Loram added the real reason the defendant killed Roberts was from anger and fear. The defendant apparently wanted to rob a shop so he would have money to become a drug dealer, but Roberts refused to help him, calling the plan mad, which angered the defendant. Afraid that Roberts would snitch on him, the defendant lured him into the woods and made sure the boy was dead, Loram said. Lincolnshire police wrote a press statement following the conviction, urging parents to talk to their children about knives. Excuse me, they need to do more than talk about knives. Knives is not the problem here. The problem here is the 15-year-old is a freaking psychopath. Okay, there could be no stronger message than this on the potential devastation that carrying a knife can bring, Lincolnshire police wrote. That's a bunch of bullcrap. I live in the country, and just about every little teenage boy around here, including myself, carry a knife in their pockets. Usually, I have one in my pocket. I have a pink camouflage knife. It's a nice one. Actually, I've got two pink one's black and pink camouflage. That's not uncommon. What they need to be talking about is they need to be talking to their kids, make sure they're right in the freaking head. Because this kid's definitely not right in the freaking head. Most kids, if they're afraid of being snitched on, don't lure someone out into the woods to stab them to death. He brought the knife there to kill the boy with. This kid probably don't even carry a knife all the time. He probably didn't. He probably just had it on him because he knew he was going to kill the kid. Oh my gosh. That's the dumbest statement about knives. I'm sorry, but I just feel like that is just the dumbest statement. Okay, guys. I'm trying to get back to see what else. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about this golf pro just a little bit here. It's been all over the news this morning. They've still not caught the suspect. Suspect still on loose, 3 dead in country club shooting that killed golf pro dad. I'm going to look at the chat and see what y'all are saying first, though. What do y'all think about that? Them telling people to talk to their kids about knives. He should be put in a psychiatric hospital, yeah. Yeah. If someone had that much hate and evil in their heart, they would find absolutely anything for a weapon. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what if he had killed him with a baseball bat? Would they be telling the public, oh, you need to talk to your kids about baseball bats? I mean, come on now. Hey, drama. You know what? This is what I say. Hold on, I'm reading Dory's comment. At 15, I was still being 15. Yeah. Same way I feel about guns. Yeah, I was getting ready to say that at Crime Shame. If they outlawed guns right now, took everybody's guns, people would still be able to buy them off the street and stuff. And if they couldn't get a gun, if they really wanted to hurt somebody, they'd find another way to do it. There's more ways to hurt people than just shooting them. Now, come on. It's not the tool, it's the person. Exactly. You know what? My son collects knives. Just so happens Timothy collects knives. He's got like big samurai swords and everything, and he just puts them on display in his room. There's nothing wrong with that. You know how people just, like to collect stuff. I like to collect rooster stuff. And I like knives myself. I'm always having to use my knife, y'all, to open up feed bags or to do something. Oh, you have to realize it may not be a common occurrence to carry knives in England. As here, oh yeah, true, Shirley. It may not be. It may not be. Poor kid got into mental health. How it went unnoticed is crazy to me. Yeah, I know it. 15 years old, wanting to rob a shop so he can become a drug dealer. What was the home life like? It's what I got to ask. Yeah, Jack's mom. I was just thinking that. Wow, golf pro murders now. What has this world come to? Oh, yeah, I know. I about forgot about that. I'm glad I saw Dory's comment. Look, they got a big GoFundMe. They've raised, how much money was that, Jack's mom? You can't tell me. I hate that he's dead and him got kids that's shot like that. Senseless act. But didn't he have insurance money? Don't golf pros have like life insurance? No, I'm going to shut up. Suspect still on the loose. 3 dead in country club shooting that killed golf pro, dad of 2 young kids. I think the GoFundMe's raised like $400,000. Police in Georgia are searching for a suspect in an apparent triple murder that killed a professional golfer, 2 other victims. 41-year-old Gene Sealer was fatally shot in the head Sunday afternoon at Pine Tree Country Club course in Kennesaw, where he is a club director. The suspect had reportedly driven a white Dodge Ram 3500 pickup truck and is believed to have shot Sealer when the golf pro approached the vehicle. Well, this truck just come across the golf course or something and pulled up, so he went outside to see what was happening. According to the New York Post and the Marietta Daily Herald, the suspect fled the scene, but 2 more dead bodies were found in the pickup truck. Both males suffered apparent gunshot wounds. Cobb County Police Officer Shanice Barner told reporters. One of the males was identified as Paul Pearson, the registered owner of the Ram. The other male has not been identified, but is believed to be of Hispanic race. The suspect is still on the loose, and police have not provided further information about the investigation. A GoFundMe campaign is raising funds for Sealer's wife and 2 young children. You would think that a golf pro might be their financial situation might be pretty good. God, $442,000. That's a lot of money. Of course, they got 2 kids to take care of. I hate it. It's a beautiful family. Bless those little boys' hearts. She's a pretty woman. Can y'all see the GoFundMe? Let me go to my chat and see. Sometimes when I switch tabs and I'm screen sharing, it won't show. Okay, yeah, it's showing. I don't think the golf pro was the target, but I think he stumbled in on a major crime and they had to kill him. Well, from what I was reading yesterday, that truck just came like across the golf course or something. Uh-oh, I'm buffering. Let me stop screen sharing a minute. Am I buffering you? Let me go back to my StreamYards here because I was buffering a little bit. So the truck just came like across the golf course or something out of nowhere, driving crazy. He goes out there to see what's going on, and the suspect shoots him dead. And then freaking flees. Then they find the truck, and they find 2 bodies in the back. So he's like hijacked that truck and killed the owner. And the Hispanic guy, the other guy that was dead in the back of the truck, he was probably a passenger. They was probably friends. He was probably friends with the truck's real owner. That's what I'm thinking. Wrong place, wrong time. This was the 10th hole, really. There's a road in between the 9th and 10th hole of most golf courses. See, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about golf courses. Only thing I know about is putt-putt. I do want to share one more thing with y'all before I get off here. You know, it's summertime. Everybody is going on vacation and stuff and going to amusement parks. Just be careful what rides you let your kids and stuff on, because there was an 11-year-old killed on a water ride in Iowa. I'm gonna show it to y'all. Somebody might know where this place is at. This ride reminded me of one that's at Dollywood. Let me see. I was a cart girl at a golf course. That's how I know. Oh, that is really cool. That's a cool job. I may try to do a porch chat this evening, y'all. By the way, we need to start back in our porch chat, just chit chat. Okay. And Wednesday night, we're doing a channel member stream, ghost story night. Amusement park boat ride accident kills 11-year-old boy, injures 3 more people. An 11-year-old Iowa boy died Sunday from injuries he suffered a day earlier when a popular boat ride at an amusement park malfunctioned just a day after it passed a state inspection and opened for the first time this season. Michael Jaramillo and 3 other people, including at least 1 other minor, were injured when a boat carrying 6 people on the Raging River ride flipped over Saturday night. Off-duty Altoona police officers and fire department medics who were working at Adventureland Park quickly responded to the accident. They and witnesses helped free the riders from the overturned boat. Police said a second minor on the ride is hospitalized in critical condition, with 2 other people had minor injuries. The ride was closed immediately after for investigation, and the park said it was fully cooperating. Safety is the number 1 priority at Adventureland, Guy Cook, the park's personal injury attorney, wrote in a text message. The Raging River ride has been in operation for nearly 4 decades. It is a safe ride. It is not a safe ride. A little boy is dead. If it was a safe ride, this child wouldn't be dead, idiot. The Iowa Division of Labor, which conducts safety inspections of carnival-type rides, had cleared Raging River on Friday. and is leading the investigation into the accident. It was the second fatal accident involving this particular ride in 5 years. Seasonal employee Stephen Boer, 68, died from injuries he suffered in June 2016 when the ride began moving unexpectedly as he and other employees were helping riders in and out of the boats, which operates on a conveyor belt. Boer landed on the conveyor belt and was trapped between the boat and a concrete wall. His head was repeatedly rammed into the wall until the operator of the ride shut it down. Boer died from trauma to the skull and brain days later. Adventureland was fined $4,500 for a safety violation and ordered to install devices that would make sure employees are in a safe spot before an operator can move the rides. The park also settled a wrongful death suit from Boer's wife last December. Y'all just be careful what rides y'all get on with your kids and stuff. You never know. This passed inspection, but it's not a safe ride. There's been 2 people that's died from this ride. I know it's fun to get out and do stuff. And be careful when you go. Don't be so, happy to get on these rides when the fair comes to town. You got to remember something. They take that stuff loose all the time. Pack up and go to the next town. They lose bolts and everything. You know they freaking do. I know, cement shoes. That is just awful. I know it, Cheryl T. I know it. Can you imagine being on, hey Cheryl, can you imagine being on one of those roller coasters that goes upside down and it malfunctioning and you're just stuck there? Oh gosh, ever since I watched the Final Destination movies, I tell you, I probably still would get on a ride, but I used to really love roller coasters and all that crazy stuff. Yeah, you ride at your own risk. That ride right there that needs to be redone, though. They need to take that out and get a whole new ride. I mean, there's been 2 people that died on it. It needs to be. I'll go be all right. Didn't something happen at Dollywood, too, on those swings a couple of years ago? Y'all know those swings? You get in these swings and it takes you around in a circle. You're flying up high. Someone died in Michigan Adventures on Zach's Kitty Boomer. I'm pass on that crap. Yeah. Or Kitty Zoomer. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, God, I get motion sickness. None of that for me. Yeah. I'll stick to going on some hikes and stuff when. Why is it taking back everyone's message? Oh, I was clicking on it, I guess. Damn it. See, I do stuff and don't know it. I was clicking on my StreamYard and unclicking it. Sorry, cement shoes. I got to get my brain right. Oh, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go get myself cleaned up, put together. I may go Tractor Supply later. I got to get some chicken scratch. Everything's good on the home front here, by the way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell y'all, I got publicly shamed for sharing with y'all things about my personal life in a chat yesterday. Yeah. And you know what I got to say? You can kiss my ass, you freak. It's people like you or why other women don't speak out when they're being mistreated. Now, the truth will stand when the world falls. And Mark's very aware of what I share on my freaking YouTube. Let me just tell you. He knows that I have confided in y'all of what was going on. And let me tell you something else. If it hadn't been for my YouTube channel, I may not be sitting here today because I was contemplating suicide. So, Miss Christina, you can kiss my ass, bitch. My good friends, my viewers, and my channel has helped me through this, and I'm still going through it. I don't know. They said I doxed Mark. See, I went into a chat yesterday. They were talking about a person who actually sent Mark a letter through mail a couple of years ago. Told him a bunch of bullcrap, a bunch of lies, a bunch of half-truths. Told him I was cheating on him, getting ready to take off with a man and everything, right? And I knew that, so I just went in there and I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Tried to warn people about that person. And anyways, this girl comes out of nowhere. I can't even remember what chat. I had to go look. Anyway, she's like, and now you're doxing all of your husband's information on YouTube. And I unsubscribed to your channel for that. I said, nobody cares. Just tell me quit tagging her name. Bitch, you tagged my name first. It ain't, let me tell you something. This is my channel. I will share what I want to on it. Now, I do mostly true crime on here. Now, what she wanted me to do is just come on here and do live streams and lie to y'all guys and act like my life is perfect and my mental health was perfect and just do my true crime. That's what it is. She must find Mark cute. Well, let me tell you something. Of course I care for Mark. I love him. Of course I do. We've got some serious problems going on right now. And he done me bad. And he knows it. And he has done admitted it. Okay? But this channel and my friends, Cement Shoes, Sapphire, everybody that sent me messages, supported me, is in the chat, supported me, even the silent viewers, helped me. Because, guys, I was on the edge. Hey, Kathy, you tell them they need to sweep their own. Hey, don't worry about my life. If you don't want to hear little bits and pieces about my life, don't tune in. I am going to try not to share things on my true crime streams, though. But you did give me a good idea, you little weirdo. I'm going to do a video about speaking out about being mentally abused and stuff. I'm going to let people know it's all right to come out and say, hey, I have been mentally abused by my partner I've been with for years. That's all right to say, as long as it don't endanger your life. What am I supposed to do? Just keep it to myself? Y'all, everybody, y'all couldn't tell you the emails I had when I went through that nervous breakdown stuff and I didn't do my streams. People wondering where I was at and stuff. People want to know. But I am going to keep all my other information that can get me, to myself. But I'll share what I want to about me and Mark. He's been my man for 8 years. I've lived here. I'll say what I want to about him. That's just the way it is. Yeah, your story. Hey, guys, I couldn't even read the true crime and focus. Y'all know what a hard time I was having. Excuse me for living, for being honest. Excuse me. I guess, I'm just supposed to be called cunts and everything else and just go on with, come on here and just do your true crime for you, Christina. Fuck you. That's what I got to say to you. But anyways, what I was going to say, I'm going to do a video because it's people like that is why other abuse victims don't want to speak out. She made a public service announcement in that freaking chat yesterday. She had to unsubscribe to for doxing my husband. Y'all, I have used Mark's PayPal on here a few years ago. People send me mail and say, I did not dox any of his personal information. If you're talking about my leg injury that I shared, well, you know what? He shouldn't have done it, should he? Shit happens. I'm going to get off of it because you know what? I'm not going to let her take up any space in my head. I just wanted to say that real quick, and I wanted to wait till the end of my stream to do it. So when I want to share with y'all about my life, we're going to do it on the porch chats. And anything that, I really can't say publicly, if y'all want to know, I'll share it with you in Discord. So what? I use my hubby's Discord all the time. Yes, women need to support women. Yeah. Hey, guys, I can't come on here and act like everything's hunky-dory when it's not. I can't. I have PTSD and manic depression and stuff. And for that bitch to say that to me yesterday, that ran all over me because I really was contemplating suicide and stuff. I'm not in that mindset now. I'm in a lot better space, but I came close to it. So she can kiss my ass. And if I hadn't got on here and shared, if I just kept it to myself and dealt with it, I wouldn't be sitting here today. But, I will try to keep my morning streams just true crime. And when we're goofing off on the porch and stuff, I'll give y'all an update about my life if y'all want to hear it. I got to remember, most of y'all care about me, but there are people on here that don't give a shit about me. They just want to hear about the true crime. I got to remember that. She probably has the hots for him. Yeah, he's a good looking man. Mark's a damn good looking man. She can have him. I guarantee he wouldn't put up with her. It made me mad too, Cheryl, but you know what? She's like, if you don't care, quit tagging my name. Bitch, you tagged my name first. I wasn't done. Let me tell you something. You don't tell me quit tagging your name. I'll do it 100 times. Don't never tell me what to do. I don't bother nobody. If you didn't like watching my channel because I said a few personal things, then you should have kept it to yourself because I've been going through a really hard time. You're a pure bitch. And you don't fit in with the coffee family, so good riddance. Thank you, Sarah. I love y'all too. I love y'all too. Don't ever get bad thoughts like that, airspace. I know it seems she's look, guys, I'm a lot better, as you can tell by my voice. I've been in a pretty good mood and stuff. Thank you, Dari. And yeah, I went into a chat yesterday and I said a few things about that lady that's got mad at me and sent Mark that letter through mail. And she's like, oh, and now you're doxing all your husband's private information on YouTube. Lady, you need to learn the definition of doxing. Doxing is if I gave y'all his social security number, date of birth, his physical address, or anything. Look, I'll dox any damn thing I want about him. And if people don't like it, they can kick rocks. I've never doxed anybody in my life. I really enjoy your humor and real life mixed with true crime. That's what makes your channel special and unique to me. Yeah, I'm not professional. Thank you, AP. I appreciate that, sweetheart. I'm not professional, guys. Y'all know that. Half the time I can't pronounce stuff. I get stuff wrong. I tried, just to go on the facts, but I do theorize and goof off a little. They're garbage people that spew ugliness like that. Yeah, to come at somebody that, especially her been watching my channel and what a hard time I've had to come at me like that. I mean, I said yesterday, didn't even recognize her name, but I kind of think I may recognize that name a little bit. Most of y'all that comment all the time, I know who y'all are, but it didn't ring a bell right off. I think I may have seen her in the chat before. Who knows? But anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here and get some things done. And I'll make a community post. I'm going to try to do a little chat this evening. We can sit and chit chat, and I'll tell y'all what's all been going on around here with my rooster. Oh, I found Sunny's special feather. I want to show y'all that. I don't think I did. I found it inside the chicken coop. So, anyways, I'll give y'all an update on Smokey and everything. But I'll see y'all later. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for your support. Again, Dory, thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. I appreciated those so much. I appreciate everyone. Yeah, she's probably the Harry Bandit's girlfriend. See you in shoes. Thank you, Sunnyside. Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Loves, hugs. Be safe, be kind, and peace.